Hey everybody, it's Alex from Heavy New York, back at the Gramercy Theater, and today we are here with Memphis May Fire. Thank you so much for your time, man.
Yeah, man, I'm stoked.
Yeah, it's so great to have you here. Your new album, Broken, is absolutely awesome. Let's just give a rundown on the making of it.
Thank you. Yeah, man. So we did the record with a different producer than we've ever worked with before. The guy's name is Kane Churko, big rock producer out of Vegas, and it was a rad experience. Had Drew Folk mix the record, so it was kind of a new process all around for us, but we feel like it turned out really great, and we're really excited about it.
Did working with a new producer allow you to bring some maybe newer elements that you didn't have previously to Memphis May Fire?
Totally, yeah. I mean, me and Kellen have never written with anybody before. It's always just been the two of us, and we wrote the record with Kane, which is just something that he does with any record he does, and it was cool to get an outside perspective. You know, like when Kellen and I felt like something was finished, Kane would say, you know, what if we did this with it, you know, and that's always, I think that's healthy. I think 3 is better than 2, so it's good.
Yeah, definitely. What I've noticed with this record is that it really had a nice flow to it. Like every song kind of led up into another and was fairly consistent.
Yeah.
Was that like a preconceived idea or?
Yeah, you know, usually that's just kind of, you know, we never like track songs in order. So when the record is done, then we kind of figure out what the track listing is going to be. And, you know, I piece together songs in kind of the flow of which I felt like the story was told through the record, and it did. It worked out really well. Yeah.
Which is awesome. Do you need to like hear music in order to come up with lyrics, or does sometimes like a lyrical concept maybe determine the overall composition?
I'm writing all day, every day, as far as like, you know, lyrics and melody ideas. You know, for the longest time, Kellen would just finish an instrumental demo and then I would write over it, but I would usually be writing over it with ideas that I already had. With this record, we actually built the whole thing from the ground up. So I started some songs with vocals. I would just be like, hey, here's an idea for a hook, and then we built around it. You know, some of the other songs we'd have riffs and just kind of be piecing stuff together. So this is the first record that we've ever done like that. Yeah.
Awesome. So it's fair to say Memphis May Fire doesn't necessarily really have like a formula that they stick with making music. You take a new approach to writing.
We did on this record for sure. You know, like every record before that was always like finished instrumental and then I would put vocals on top. But we're excited about writing songs from the ground up and just trying to make great songs that, you know, anyone can sing along to, and just something that's enjoyable for the masses.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Now, what I was curious about is because your last tour you were touring with Seven Dust.
Yeah.
And now you're touring with Atreyu. It's a fairly different style and a
Totally,
different crowd.
yeah.
Do you notice maybe a different reaction or a different type of audience on this tour as opposed to that one?
Totally. I mean, the obvious thing is just the difference in age group, right? I mean, Seven Dust have been around for so long. They have fans that, you know, are in their 50s that were bringing out their 20-year-old kids to the shows, you know, and it was so cool to play for that market because a lot of those people had never even heard of us before, you know? So that was really valuable to us. With Atreyu, seems like we're kind of closer in age, and, you know, our fans are maybe a little more similar. It's been a killer tour, dude. This tour has been honestly one of my favorites that we've ever done.
Yeah. I mean, not to pigeonhole your sound by any means or label you guys, but this is kind of, you guys have been like, called metalcore or whatever and this
sure.
seems to be like a metalcore
Yeah,
type of tour, right?
Totally, yeah. Yeah, and even though our new record is like a rock record through and through, you know, like all of our previous albums, we're still the band that wrote those albums, right? So it's like we're always going to play those songs live, you know? So having the majority of our set be a very metalcore heavy set, you know, it works perfect on this tour.
Yeah. Do you have like a definition for what metalcore is and stuff like that?
Dude, I don't know. Honestly, like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you could call us folk, and I'd be like, cool. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. As long as you're listening to the band and paying attention to what we're doing and trying to appreciate the songs that we're writing, you know, that's all that we can ask for. You can call it whatever you want, man.
Awesome. I'm gonna call you black metal. If
Cool,
that's
dude.
Cool.
Yeah, the internet's gonna be mad about that.
Good.
But let's do it. Memphis May Fire, newest black metal band on the market.
Most cult metal band. Now, you know, it's even in your name, the name of the band, but you guys are from Memphis, actually, right?
We actually know we live in Nashville currently.
Okay.
But the band is originally from Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now that you guys live, you guys are actually from 2 awesome rock scenes because you guys started in Dallas.
Yeah.
Great metal scene down there.
Incredible, yeah.
But now you're in Nashville.
Yep.
I mean, which I would say is more suitable for your guys' style with bands like Red or Skillet coming
Sure.
from there. Is there
Sure.
like a scene that you guys are involved in Nashville?
We've got a bunch of friends that are all, you know, involved in the industry in one way or another. You know, a lot of music focused friends in Nashville for sure, and so many different genres of music. You know, it's a big melting pot for a lot of different stuff. So it's awesome. Yeah, definitely inspiring to be there.
Yeah. Do you take, like, are you looking at a certain inspiration when making music? Is there like a band that you kind of like look up to and be like, I kind of want to be like that? Or is Memphis May Fire always kind of like did their own thing?
We have always done our own thing. I think that can come off cocky, like we're not inspired by anybody. That's not how it is. I mean, like I grew up on bands like Blindside and, Beloved and Showbread and, like that whole thing. And it was like huge for me, and I still carry a lot of that with me. These days we get inspired by our friends and we get inspired by our lives and we write just based on whatever season of life that we're in right now. So, there's records that do influence me, and a lot of times when we're writing though we're trying to create something from scratch and do it our way, so I wouldn't say that we've ever sat down and been like, let's do a record like this band. We've just sat down and said, let's do a record like Memphis May Fire.
Awesome. Can a Memphis May Fire song ever sound too much like a Memphis May Fire song?
Yeah, I mean, I think that if we continue to put out the same record, that's a bummer, right? So it's like if we wrote another record that sounded like The Hollow, that would be too much like a Memphis May Fire thing. We're always trying to, evolve and grow and change. We like to change and we like to experiment with sounds, and it's just fun. And that's what keeps us interested and keeps us excited about being in the band. So
yeah. One question I was having going back to your lyrical concepts is because, I mean, just from waiting outside to do this interview, I saw people coming out of the meet and greet, like, really happy to see you guys. You guys really have some dedicated fans,
yeah, we do.
Which is something very remarkable.
We do, yeah.
And so when a fan tells you, like, your lyrics helped me through a hard time or your lyrics spoke to me in this way, even if it is, like, nowhere near the emotion you were feeling when writing that song, does a fan's perception of a song maybe give you a new perspective on the song than when you wrote it?
Totally, man. Honestly, my perspective on music and how I write is like, I'm going to write about my life because that's the only honest story I can tell. Either stories that are very specific to me or stories that are very close to me with family and friends, things I've observed, right? And I think that we're all connected on this wavelength because we're all human beings. And whether your struggle is a little different than mine or not, we both struggle. We both go through things. We both need outlets. We both need music. And so, when someone comes up and says that the song has affected them in this way or that way, it's incredible. It's an incredible feeling. And I feel so honored to be a part of someone else's story. But I'm never surprised necessarily that they connected with it because we're all the same. I'm no different than anybody else. I'm a very normal dude that lives a normal life that deals with real stuff. And when I get to write about it, we get to share those things together. So it's really great.
Yeah, I really feel like your music does give an essence to your fans. Like we're all on the same playing field.
Straight
like,
up.
People think you're a rock star. You live in outer space and you don't. But, you still got to go to the DMV.
I don't even really like the word fans. I've never really liked that. Calling people fans, I feel like it like separates you from me in some way, which is weird. You know what I mean? Like, I like to call our listeners either listeners or family. Like when at meet and greets and when we see people out on the street and everything, man, I'm not just going to like give someone a cold shoulder because I don't know them. Like I want to hug people. I want to talk to people. I want to hear about your life. I want to know more about you. If you are listening to the music that I write, then that brings us closer together. And I want to treat it like family and not like some, numbers separation or something,
That's a really beautiful way of putting it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So there is a famous saying, though, when you put out a song, it instantly becomes theirs. So if there is like a message is there ever like a message that you're trying to convey and then somebody else interprets it in a way that's completely out of left field?
Totally, but I can't blame them for that. I grew up listening to a lot of music where I probably got it way wrong. Like songs that I thought, especially like Anthony Green's lyrics. I think he's an amazing lyricist. He's very abstract and has really cool style of writing. And I'm sure a lot of what he wrote meant something completely different to him than what it meant to me. But it's awesome. That's awesome. I can't manufacture a feeling. You know what I mean? I can create music that makes me feel, and if it makes you feel something in some specific way, then that's what the song's about. That becomes what the song is about,
Awesome. So I never did this before, but, we have a little bit of extra time. I'd just like to ask one little fun question
Cool.
for the fans. What is the most painful area you've ever gotten tattooed?
Easy question. Right below the nipple line where the rib starts, or I guess it's like, yeah, just like a couple ribs in. For whatever reason, dude, like nipple and above, chest, never bugged me. It was like kind of grindy, but not like this area right below the nipple is like stingy and burny and like tickly, like all at the same time. It's like it hurt. It's every annoying and painful feeling you can imagine all at once. And my body was like shaking and it sucked. It sucked.
Yeah, I would suggest drinking before that.
I have like a
tattoo session.
giant black panther on my stomach and chest, and I have to do it again because it's a cover up. So I have to go over it again, and I'm just like dreading it and putting it off.
God bless your soul, man.
Yeah.
God bless your soul. I got this area done, and I was crying. I ain't hitting that
Yeah,
area.
dude, like my right nipple is black. I've tattooed over that. Because that's all part of the panther, and like tattooing the actual nipple is nothing compared to right below it where the rib starts. That is an awful spot.
God bless your soul, man. Yeah. So before we go, I'd like to thank you so much for your time. It's a brand new record cycle with Broken. You got this kick-ass tour with Atreyu and Ice Nine Kills.
Yeah.
Is there just anything else you would like to promote for the Memphis May Fire Camp?
Yeah, new record is out. It's different. We know it's different. We know that people are a little weirded out by it, but our fans have stuck by us. They love the record. If you haven't given it a chance, please listen to it and have an open mind. We're excited about it, and we just want to sing the songs with you guys, so thank you so much.
Awesome. Can we be expecting any tours after this that
Totally.
you're allowed to say?
Can't say anything yet. We are going to be focused on international after this, but we will definitely be back in America doing another run in 2019. So
Awesome. Well,
yeah, man.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much, man.
Everybody, Memphis May Fire. Pick up Broken if you haven't already. This is Alex from Heavy New York. We'll see you next time.
Awesome.